What's up, guys? Taz and R here at Twin Oaks. Had an idea to wanted to talk to you guys about, and forgot Twin Oaks is not the best place to visit if I want nice audio. They have a whole bunch of construction happening over there, over that way. Airplanes flying to the airport constantly over this way. Not the best of places to try and have a conversation with you. Hear the boat? You guys hear the boat? Look at what someone did. Today I wanted to try and talk to you guys about some of the ideas why I think the way we build homes and the habitat destruction that it leads to, why it's kind of unsustainable. It's not really mindful. It's just got a whole bunch of negative consequences, and I just wanted to talk to you guys about those negative consequences. I was trying to write up a memo and, do a bullet list, but that's not generally the way I do things. I just like to talk and just talk. And if you guys enjoy me talking, thank you. I don't know if you've noticed, we've lost a lot of land here in Florida recently over the last decade or so. And a lot of places kind of like this, no lie, just get bought up because it was once ranch land and it's not very productive anymore. And these mega developers who have billions and billions and billions of dollars, they come in, buy up places like this, bulldoze it all down, and then put up homes. And if it's not a place like this, it's pretty much a pristine forest that they have the rights to. They cut it down and they build homes on it. Now, Florida is growing. We do need homes. I mean, we need places for people. We just need, I think, smarter places to put them, right? People are building in swamp areas and kind of next to river areas, and people are still building around the coast too. And I'm not a climate sea level change alarmist, but I'm not a denialist either. That's a cycle that's happening that we've influenced. I believe in the next 100 or so years we're definitely going to be seeing some sea level rise. So building homes next to rivers and swamps, floodplains, or the coastline just doesn't make sense. And it feels like it's kind of a scam on those people in the first place. Luring people into this idea that they can buy a home and its value is going to go up, probably knowing full well within 20 or so years that there's going to be new media alarms blaring as, sea level rise continues to go on. That's what I'm fearful of in the long term, at least, for homeowners here in Florida. But in the short term, what happens, like I said, is they come in and clear cut an area, clear cut a ranch, for example, or clear cut something like this, a forested area. And right away, what happens is you forever lose that ecosystem. We humans are not good at rebuilding nature at all. So if there was a forest there and a company, for example, says, well, we're going to cut this down and we're going to build over here, that generally never works out. Because the land that they're purchasing to replace it, or the land that they're going to try and build up to be a forest again, we can't imitate nature. We've never figured out how. It's way more complex than we can imagine. We don't even know the complete microbiome that's in the soil or on trees, for example. So there's so much of nature we can't mimic, and once it's bulldozed into the ground, hey, some hawks. Can't have them scoop up cub. But once that shit's bulldozed into the ground, it's lost. Fucking hawks spooked me out. They could just whoop, gone cub. Bobo! So that's like the first major disaster when it comes to building our homes. It's just the habitat destruction in general. We don't get it back. All those animals get displaced. Any of that microbiome never gets to be explored, right? There's a lot of forested areas in the history of humanity that just We never got to really explore the compounds with science because it was just completely destroyed before anyone could think to sample certain things. Kind of like how the rainforest, you know, we get so much medicine from the rainforest, they say, and research compounds and whatnot. Forests hold many secrets too, but we just never gave them enough time before we developed a lot of them. That's my belief. Think about all the psychedelic mushrooms that exist here. Just in the United States alone, there's so many different types. You know, so forests have many secrets that we've just kind of let go and continue to let go. So that's something that we never get back. And the animals, they get displaced and they never get that back too. So they have to move on to other areas. Like, that's why you find deer and coyote on ranch land. You find hawks on ranch land. You find life that used to be in natural areas surviving on places that, you know, we have kind of let go to try and rebuild itself. Essentially nature, these ranches that are no longer profitable but now getting bought up and bulldozed over, like those were essentially recovering grasslands, right? So, but then billionaires decided to get the idea to just buy them up and build homes. I think that's the second major flaw we have. The same type of homes that we've had for what? I don't know how many dozens of years, right? The same box style cookie cutter homes here in America. Now you got the McMansions and whatnot, but here in Florida, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I know these homes could be better for hurricane protection. They just aren't. I know these homes could be put in more responsible areas away from like swamps that will flood during hurricanes, and away from like rivers and creeks that overflow and should overflow. They should overflow. That's their natural thing to do. Carries nutrients onto the flood banks and whatnot. You know, it's a natural process, but we have changed that so that we could build homes next to these areas. But then you get these powerful storms that come through that we didn't calculate in the past when we built these areas and continue to build them. And now these areas are flooding out and damaging homes. And so the homes that we're building, I feel, are outdated and completely not integrated with nature. We don't build with nature. We tear it down. You leave a couple oak trees behind, right? And that's where you make your park at. You leave the swamps up because in the 80s, they brilliantly passed laws to protect the swamps, at least, the wetlands. So you have to pay a lot more in fines and fees to develop those places. So they leave those up. But a lot of times, those places were interconnected. So those cypress domes drained into other cypress domes, and those all would drain into the Everglades or into a river system, which, you know, gets to the ocean, or, you know, and all that kind of gets mucked up, gets canaled up, gets complicated, and some system that we have to try and control and constantly update. But there's no money to update that system. They don't update that system. That's why these homes continue to be built, because they continue to profit off them. They continue to pay off local authorities, essentially with tax money. So these homes, everyone that they sell, you know, the county gets a cut of that property tax, right? So the more homes that the county gets, the more tax income they get. So it's pretty vicious cycle. Come on, Suki, this way. So I think that's another major problem we have with it. We're not trying to come up with new community ideas that don't tear down everything, that try and figure out how to have roads that maybe are more like bridges, or on stilts in a way, you know, that allow for natural water flows or animals to just exist below them, right? And the cars would drive over them. I don't know. I'm not an urban designer, but we need more domestic designers coming up with new home ideas, new community ideas, new city ideas that are more integrated with nature, instead of just this cookie cutter, like, plow it down. City center kind of thing here, community center thing here, homes, you know, and some stores down this road and stores down this road. That's where people can, some of the peasants who need those peasant jobs can work. Lastly, I think the problem is we, the people, become disconnected with nature. We no longer identify with the land we're from, right? At most, maybe your street sign does. Maybe your street sign says what was once there, right? And that's the last remnants of people in that your general area where you live knowing what was there before you. No one looks at past maps to see what was there and what was taken down and what we lost, or what the planet lost and what nature lost, for us to just kind of don't get me wrong, I've liked living comfortably, as most people do, but we do it so recklessly. We've been poisoning our lawns for so long that our rivers are now chocked full of too many nutrients, and we have so many issues that we just keep kicking that can down the road and not addressing them, so that, you know, a small minority of the population can keep making profits and trickle down. And most of us are just stuck suffering, grinding, and not happy, and completely disconnected, and no ability to connect because you're impoverished and you're not in an area where you can easily get out to places like this. And even me, because I have such a knowledge base, I understand that this place is pretty damaged. This place needs a lot of time to recover and heal. So I come out here and it's hard for me to feel the healing because this place needs so much healing more than me. It's not, this is in recovery here, right? This is not a true forest right here. So that's me. Lots of people come out here and they still feel that. They get the sense of nature here. I come out here and I enjoy it, but I understand that this land is a land that is healing and trying to recover and does not know exactly what it's turning into. Like, none of this stuff was natural. None of this was here like 100 years ago. These oak trees, they were here. That's it. And these oak trees, they got moved here by squirrels. So given time, you know, land can try and recreate itself or make something new, but when you completely tear down an ecosystem, a lot of that biodiversity is lost forever. And maybe there are ecosystems around it, little islands of diversity that can fill in that niche when that area is lost, and it can recover with time, but not if we don't give it a chance, right? Like, how is the Florida panther going to recover if we don't start building land bridges and, like, as a species understand that we need these things to survive? That as a species we need to make changes and we need to make demands, I guess, as a consumer, right? Like, the consumer buying the house needs to want a house that's embedded in nature, I guess, and has trees around it, not just like a couple trees like that growing. Oh, look, we have these trees in our neighborhood and they're going to be big one day. That's because they cut down everything else, right? You want communities that didn't destroy what was there, so they have a real sense of identity. That just doesn't have to come from people that are disconnected from what's real, right? This planet is real. These, like, ideas people got us chasing, they're not really real. And they're really disconnecting everyone from each other. Like, it's dangerous. Gotta really work on reconnecting with as many people as you can, I think. That's just my view. Anyways, so we're losing too much land, right? Habitat destruction. It never, that land never recreates itself, really. And then the animals are getting displaced, you know? And that's not good. And on top of that, we're getting disconnected. We don't have a connection to the land anymore and to what land is, right? Just a whole bunch of homes you live next to, or a whole bunch of apartments and road, but that's not what it is to be us. That's an idea, a way that you can collect humans to live so that others can keep making more. That's what that is. That's what we live in. But there's a whole other way to do this, I imagine. It's right under our noses. Just gotta listen to different ideas. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, all that cool fun stuff. Please subscribe to my Rumble channel, especially if you like my ranch vlogs and that content. I'll be having more content up there as soon as, the temperatures start warming up and we get rains. But it'll be a while. But also please check out my Instagram or my Discord down below. I have a lot of people joining the Discord, and I got some friends, like real friends in there. So we try and keep the communications going and the conversations going. You can join and talk about anything you want. So join the Discord. That'd be really cool. Love to have you. And again, just thanks for watching, all right?